Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again for another Kickstarter critique where I take a look at a different tabletop game project every weekday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, give my honest thoughts on how that project is being ran. Come join in the fun. And today I'm really excited to be checking out the 7th most popular project in all of games on Kickstarter. That is Rivenstone, a brand new tabletop miniatures skirmish wargame. Battle your friends in this fast-paced, easy-to-learn, yet deeply strategic high fantasy game. So I look at this main image and I'm very unimpressed, partially because the text is really hard to read. Like, I see that it's funded in 4 hours, but I feel like maybe I get the gist of how the minis look. Like, oh, they're painted and they think they look nice, but I can't really see them that well with this. Now, I'm sure when I click on them, they're going to pop right in my face. They're going to look gorgeous, but you need to realize that not everybody's going to click on it. And so I would maybe just zoom in a little bit more on those. Also, I'd love to know the player count, the time length, the age, because once again, this is a game. It's still a war game. So I'm assuming it's 2 players, but I don't know. This is information you should be conveying right to the front. Battle your arms in a fast-paced, easy-to-learn, yet deeply strategic high-fantasy game featuring super... And now I see the minis. So now we zoom in, and these things look absolutely drop-dead gorgeous. Hopefully there's an option for the painted minis. I always feel a little bit cheated when I see them painted, and that's not even an option. Funded in 4 hours. Yes, I don't care. Like, could we get something useful here? Have we hit stretch goals, player count, time length, age... any of the number of the things. Also, this game, get it on Boardgamegeek. It is the most popular board gaming website on the planet with a bullet. There's like no other second competitor even. What are you going to boardgaming.com? Get your game on there. But as always, when I go to the video, I'm thinking 3 things. Do I want it? Can you do it? How much is it? Let's go. Broken Anvil presents.
Look at us. Look at what we have become.
So actually seeing the minis out here, that's nice.
We
like
rain
this.
Death and destruction upon one another in an unending quest to obtain power. True power. The very power that has shaped the lands of men since time immemorial. A power instrumental to every culture that has ever risen. And the many that have fallen. Rivenstone.
Alright, how many games have you played where you have to get power? Like, this is not like some crazy, amazing concept that we need to spend 20 seconds on. We get it. We collect power, and it powers our units, or it puts out more units, or it does a variety of different things. I'm just get down to it here. Gameplay.
Crystal's power is limitless. Every cultural, technological, and mystical.
So that's really nice artwork, which makes me excited about seeing the cards soon. And the minis, for that matter, as well.
The evolution we have achieved was fueled by the harvesting of the stone. Of course, we inevitably abused this power. We went too far. The sins of our ancestors caused the world's Rivenstone to erupt in a great cataclysm. We called it the Rivenstorm.
Oh.
For 400 years it ravaged the land. A maelstrom of unfettered magic sweeping away.
Okay, so this is what I like to call minis porn. They have not told me anything about the gameplay yet. They still don't know the player count, the time length, the age. They're like, hey, minis, minis, minis. I love minis. It really is a problem. And that's, Kickstarter. A lot of people do. That's why this raised $200,000. People buy the minis and they plan on painting them. They plan on using them for their role-playing, and I get that. And if you got the money, why not? But still, this should be focused more on the gameplay.
Way empires and kingdoms, mutating and warping the landscape.
Because if you're a minis fan, you just want these minis, presumably. The game, that's cool that there's a game on top of it. But if you're a board gamer, we see nice minis all the time. I need more on the game.
Only the strongest.
I also really dig the art style as well. I feel like that's really well done. And I do think they did a great job showcasing the artwork.
Of us survived. And now, as the storm abates, we can venture out into the strange wilds of our homelands. We find that the crystal has returned once again. Did we leave it be? Did we heed the warnings of the past? Of course not.
Hey, gameplay. All right, woo! It's no board game. Card extension is a tabletop miniatures skirmish game. Still, I still believe that should be on Boardgamegeek, right? Like, there's war games on Boardgamegeek. It's just, there's a market that would be interested in this game. Just shoehorned in based on something. And I just, you're not going to get on the hotness if you're not on Boardgamegeek. You're not, it just drives me mad when I see games that aren't on Boardgamegeek. Now, if this is something entirely different than a board game, I'm okay. Oryx. So these are the different factions. Looks like more. This more looks more Warhammer 40k-ish, which may be what they're going for. Shattered Empire. Get it? Gorgeous minis. More gorgeous minis. Gorgeous. That stuff looks really good. Build. I do like this. I do like the fact that they're saying you have to assemble it, because for some people that's an immediate deal breaker, and I like the fact that they didn't beat around the bush. They're like, yeah, you're gonna assemble these. And some people love doing that, but I know some people specifically do not. So I like the fact that they were transparent about that in the video. Kudos.
Wow.
Okay. So I apologize. I'm mistaken. I thought this was a board game. You're just showing me stuff. I don't understand what any of this is. Yeah, there's cards. There's dice. I mean, this is like, come on. This is pretty much just a really big board game. There's cards, there's dice, there's tokens, there's pop-outs, there's minis. Are they playing on top of the box? Was that what that was? Because that was kind of cool. What was that? This ground looks amazing, by the way. Great epic encounters with narrative event decks. Wow, that's cool. Customize your warband to unlock, yeah, board game stuff. Cool. I love all the info on the cards. Looks good.
Welcome to Rivenstone.
That's a board game. I cannot look at that box and say that should not be on Boardgamegeek. Was that no Owen Wilson? Wow. I love the idea of tabletop skirmish, but I play almost everything solo only. Hard to do in these cases. They did, and that's one of those things where like they still need to mention the player count, because I'm assuming this probably plays solo if it's encounters that you set up, because then all you have to have is have the boss, be controlled by whatever the AI you use in the game. This
The world of Ven awaits.
That also doesn't look like a lot of minis right there. Maybe they're just showcasing some of them, but I was expecting that to be a lot more than. I'm gonna guess they just weren't showcasing that there. So $217,000. That was a really interesting video. Do I want it? I mean, no, not really. I don't know anything about the gameplay aside from, I move around, I shoot things, I kill things. I know that's a style of game, and that's not my particular cup of tea style game. But if I'm in that mindset, I'm trying to say, hey, if I am that person, and I do love these style games, is this a game for me? And I was like, aside from the gorgeous minis, what have they shown me that was unique or different or special? And I don't see anything. Because I see a lot of games like this at different conventions that I go to, and I think they always look super cool set up. That is the game. You saw it all, LOL. Yeah, it seems, it almost seems to the same complexity of, like Necro Molds did. No, there was a lot of cards. There was text on the cards. I just guess I wanted to see more. I don't have an idea of what I'm doing in the game, I guess. 3 created, 1 backed. We're a US-based miniatures company comprised of passionate artists and designers, most of whom are longtime industry veterans of tabletop gaming. All of our quality miniatures are okay. And this is something we see an awful lot of right now in the last few years. It's these companies who got big on Kickstarter by doing minis, because there was a huge market for minis. But then they slowly start to say, you know what? I think we can make even more money if we go from minis to board games, and we start slapping around the game on there. And a lot of time these are very hit and miss. And whenever I see a game that's out on Boardgamegeek, just my radar starts going off. And that's someone who has played thousands of games. I've reviewed 1,300 games. So I'm not saying it's a cut and fast rule, but it's just a little bit concerned. Warhammer with a different theme. What was the theme? We got to get crystals? That's all I guys like, yeah, there's crystals. Everybody uses the crystal differently, so there's different factions. Boom. Here's the artwork. Here's the minis. So much fun that I could table myself and still feel good about it. So much fun that I can table myself and still feel... What does that mean? So that's the first quote we lead off with, and I don't actually understand what it means. Does anyone understand that? It can't just be me, right? So much fun that I can... I guess it's because I don't understand the expression table myself. Does anyone... Please, anyone in the chat know what that means. I would love. Explain it to me like I'm 5, please. Oh, but back to the 3 created, because the can you do it? That's the big thing. Making sure these aren't flaming dumpster fires. Tons of customer service here, though. That's great. We should have some great poppin' customer service. So, solo. Still don't know. Still don't know, which once again, I should. First one was canceled. They showcased all the minis there. That's really surprising that that one did not hit funding with that main image. Let's see if it did hit funding, or maybe they just weren't happy. No, okay. Interesting. All right, not going to go too deep in the weeds. That was canceled. It happens. They come back. They get funded in 2 hours. They still keep it up there. Whatevs. People got their stuff. That's what we're checking. Can you advise an actual time we might expect to see our miniatures? The file of progress is more or less meaningless without any context. Should have canceled the physical miniatures when I had the chance. Here we are over a month from the last update, and earlier in the week, bam! Said we'd have an update on Friday. These guys are copying CMON Kickstarter practices. What a shame. Hi there, it's upsetting to hear you're so disappointed with me, but I also understand that you're coming from. As per the update today, I just physically couldn't get any time this week to get a meaningful update posted that'd be worth your time to read, as I was stretched thin managing the chaos of moving in addition to my normal workload. We finished unloading the last truck yesterday in the evening, and by the time I got home, I just couldn't focus and chose to get in some rest, take some time on PM, and finish the update. Just as suggested, but it's always a good idea to post an update when planned, even if there's been a little progress due to emergent issues. Yes, agreed. Even if it's nothing, say, hey, nothing new update. We got the things here. We unloaded the last big truck, and we're gonna hopefully get the thing to the stuff. Not much this week, but we expect the next one should be fruitful. I understand life gets in the way. It totally does. I'm bad at emails. I'm bad at that customer service aspect of Bowers Game Corner that most of you don't know about. But I'm bad at it. I'll admit it. I'm getting better. The more I do Kickstarter critiques, the more I try and critique myself. We're understanding how fresh it can be to wait for new updates. So they're managing it. But the bottom line is it has not shipped, which always concerns me that they have this big minis project that hasn't shipped out yet. $130,000. When was it expected to? Let's check that. And I liked it because this is important part of the Can You Do It. I'm going to give this a grade. 171 people are getting the resin pack. Oh, it's February 2021. So this is June 20. So these are all coming up on around a year late, it looks like. Which, it's about average on Kickstarter, but it is something that's concerning me there. Let's check out the last update. Here we are as of today, April 16th. Let's see where they stand. First and foremost, I'm very sorry it's taken me so long to get the update, but it happened at BAM HQ. Oh, it's BAM. That's the name of the company. That being said, I'm so glad to finally be able to cap to you. As many of you know, our team has been growing. Let's just get to the comments and see how people responded to all this. 88% complete. That's nice. Sorry, but I have a very strict policy of not backing new projects until I receive rewards from existing projects, and I'm still waiting on the Mousefolk resin models. I'll be sitting on the next project. And this is big to me, to be honest with you. I don't get so concerned about it when big companies do it, like CMON and Renegade Games, and some of these companies have like 3 or 4 games that haven't delivered yet because they have this track record. They're at conventions. They're spending tens of thousands of dollars to do this. They have big teams. They have big staff. And I believe that they're not just going to go belly up because that doesn't typically happen in our industry. However, when this is your second project and your first project has not actually been shipped out yet, that starts to make me really concerned. Because the logic would be, hey, let's ship these out. Let's get them their things. Let's have people say, these things are absolutely drop dead gorgeous. I want to have them. And then we launch the new Kickstarter. And then we're going to get all these new people who are interested in the board game. But then we're also going to have all these other people who loved our original minis and see that we're making more of these absolute drop dead gorgeous minis. And so the push to push this out, that's a really fascinating choice to me. And it scares me. That is a big red flag to me a little bit. Congrats for the new place. Your new project looks awesome. I mean, it's not a deal breaker, but it's just something I'm glad that I found here. Thank you for the update and good luck with the move. I'm looking forward to the new project. So, when is it going to ship out? We're still on track for shipping in June. Okay. So they've got the stuff. They're going to ship it. It's still just a bit concerning to me. Anytime that happens. When it's your second project. Nothing personal. Rivenstone. So, Can You Do It? Dicey. They've never done anything. They have the stuff, but it hasn't gone out yet. An alternate, and this is their first game. This is their first game that's not on Boardgamegeek. So we don't know the designer. We don't know if they have a track record. We don't know the mechanisms, really. I don't know if they're solo. Is this Kickstarter funding used to help funding finish prior project? I hope that's not the case, Keith. That has happened with other Kickstarters before. It has actually been the downfall of some other Kickstarter companies before. you know, you get everything and then you find, wow, the cost to ship this is just astronomical. So you know what we'll do? We'll just launch this next Kickstarter. We'll get that check and we'll ship these things out. And then we'll be fine because we'll make so much money on the second Kickstarter. And we'll now have the, like, it's just a dicey game. Especially, and because here's the other thing that really kind of sticks out to me. This is a lot of feed. That's a lot of mouths to feed right there. This is quite a few people in here for not having shipped anything yet. And it's just... It concerns me a smidge. Watch the battle report. What is this? 2 hours. Is this a gameplay?
It teaches you how to manage your...
Well, if you're burning a video...
Oh, cool. Yeah, just sit through a 2-hour video. Like, this is great. And don't get me wrong. I like this video. I really want to get in the weeds, and I really want to know if this is going to be a game for me. I can sit through this 2-hour video, but there should be other things that are not 2-hour videos that are going to give me more. Want to dive deeper? Follow the links deeper than this 2-hour video? What, are you expected 4? Like, what? Gameplay overview, building your warband, stat cards. So if you really want to go to the weeds, here you go. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I just want to see a rule booklet, which I'm concerned about. But sending people away from Kickstarter, not generally advisable too often. Like, I would include this on the page, just buried at the bottom. Because the other thing is, and I mentioned this, this just launched yesterday, and it's sitting at 7th place, despite the fact it raised $217,000. Which means something about it is not tickling that Kickstarter algorithm the hardest. Which makes me look for like little things, like I still don't know the player count. I still don't know how long it's going to take to play. I still don't know what a turn looks like unless I want to sit through a 2-hour video or read an awful lot, and that's not good. I haven't seen quotes that made sense. There was one quote, it didn't make sense to me. So we continue going on, and I asked the chat, there's 10 people in the chat, nobody there had an idea, apparently, or knew what the quote meant as well. So that's a very odd quote. And focus on artwork. Yeah, I'm not questioning your artwork. You showcase the snot out of your artwork in your minis. I'm here for gameplay, though. Ready to find your favorite faction? Click the links below to read more about each of their battle. Great. Whole big world. That's great. And I can't criticize that. I actually just did a news report on Twilight Imperium. I'm doing a new Bowers news section where I break some news that I find really fascinating. There's a new faction on Twilight Imperium. I ate that up reading that faction, so I know there are people who love that sort of thing. But I don't think it's most of the people right now on this Kickstarter page. Backer rewards. $99 gets you the Expedition Leader. This gets you the box. How many cards? How many cards? You don't tell me. Stat cards, event deck, coalition. You don't even spotlight them. God! Oh, it hurts. It hurts. Long past due for the sexy scroll. Yes, this is your sexy scroll here, Keith. I think. Doesn't tell me how many minis. Doesn't tell me how many measuring sticks. Doesn't have a player link. Doesn't have a time count. Doesn't have the age. Doesn't have the number of stat cards. The number of the event decks. The pictures of it so I can look and see what these are like. This reeks of you putting together a Kickstarter project without looking at the industry standard. Without looking, and that sounds like so much to do, but no, it's just browsing through some of the popular projects on Kickstarter and saying, oh, I like how they do that. Because you clearly have a team that could put together a really good-looking Kickstarter story, and it's like, this is... And hopefully there's a long, sexy scrolling shot. But it's just, man, this is hard. This is hard. $99 for the board game, which I know so little about. 48 hours only, free terrain pack, so hopefully that goes away after the fact. I'd also like to know the measurement of these. This is the Shattered Empire. Oh, so this is a starter box. Yeah, okay, so you get the starter box. This is if you want 2 boxes. No, what is this? $99 gets me the Expedition Leader, which it comes with 3 boxes, 4 boxes. Okay. So I'm sure this is probably much more familiar if you played some of these style games. I imagine this is probably how they sell them, but I still want to know the cards and what they do and all that stuff. So I get you 4 factions there. Does that mean I can play 4 players? 2 times faction starter boxes. So all boxes include the measuring, so why would I need the 2 times? Does that give me more versatility in making my decks? I'm going to assume. So this looks like they're really marketing super hard to one group of people and not even trying to market it at all to just casual board gamers. And I say casual board gamers, but I mean the kind of people who purchase Minis Wargame. They might not be casual gamers, like in the sense that they're playing, Bang the Dice game every single week or Dominion. Well, those are bad examples. You get what I'm saying. Like, I'm just saying for the casual shopper on Kickstarter who buys these $300 games, I don't feel like they're really appealing to them at all. Despite the fact they're trying to sell a $200 to $300 game with gigantic minis. Like, once again, I go back to what is different between this and a whole litany of other Kickstarters that I cover here. Inches and centimeters here? You're not even telling me the height of these? Come on. You're doing minis, at least do the mini part of it well, you know? Like, the size. You can't just show me how gorgeous they are. 48-hour train pack, the starter thing. So what am I here? This is a different price? This is the War Hero option? What is the War Hero option? I thought I was looking at the $200 thing. Looking at the $225 all-in faction pledges. Includes the starter box, 3 times hero, 3 times musters, 1 4. Yeah, this is not a fun shopping area. All right, so this is something I'm assuming I'm getting with that. They had a scroll break, which threw me off. It all just kind of blends together, to be honest with you. Yep, there was more minis. More minis. I'm going to guess the next thing I scroll is... Oh, the $875 one. Now with more minis. Oh, we got a big thing. Wonder how big it is? Would you like to know? Too bad. Stretch goals plus add-ons. Stretch goal number 1. Unlock, because at the bare minimum, just go look at a bunch of other projects that are just selling pretty much minis, or other projects that are doing skirmish-style games, because I've covered them. Other stuff, there's ones that do terrain and stuff. Like, look at those Kickstarters and copy what they do. So unlocked, full color illustrations added to the rule booklet. Cool. Can I click on it? Can I click on the rule booklet? I have not seen the rule booklet yet. You sent me to like 16 pages that told me to just all the rule booklet, but I didn't actually see a rule booklet. Once again, industry standard, and a thing that's a half-point grade drop right there if I don't see a rule booklet. Stretch goal unlocked. Or at least all you have to do is say it's a rough version. Because here's the other thing. If you show me a rough version of the rules, and you show there's going to be people who dig into those weeds, and they're going to make your rule booklet better, because they're going to say, oh, that thing on page 16 doesn't really make sense. That book looks huge. It does look pretty massive. Which... scares me as a board gamer. Maybe if you're a Tabletop Miniatures game player, I imagine that's probably more exciting to you. And here's the other thing. We've actually unlocked a whole bunch of these stretch goals. And what are they? I kind of glossed over them. Alternate alt for all hero stat cards in fused form. Okay, maybe like showcase what this actually means. Because right now it's a very abstract idea. Like, oh, cool, there's different artwork. There's no gameplay here. But different art on some cards. What size are the cards? What do the cards look like? Give me one example. How many are there going to be? For all hero stat cards. How many heroes were there? I don't remember. Is this 6 cards? Is this 12 cards? Is this 3 cards? Is this 2 cards? Let me know how many cards I'm getting, bonusified of. Stretch goals. High-res world map file provided digitally. Okay, I guess you really want to get in the weeds. Cool. Alternate sculpt heroes added to all Shattered Empire Org starters receive via pledges. So these are extra minis. Correct? I think this should be spotlighted in that one huge section that just kind of looked so blah. And it's just because it was all the same. It was all just nothing but minis and minis and minis and minis, which I get it, but it could have been dulled up and spiced up a lot better. And like just little distractions like, hey, this is unlocked in this pledge. This is unlocked. Plus, put the green tint around it. Just to break up the monotony of all the gray. Wallpaper of all 4 starter boxes, whatevs. Alternate sculpt heroes added to all Iron Guard and Risen Start Rivers pledges, the things, the stretch. We're hitting them every 25,000. Shattered Empire, $24.99. This is if you just want an extra mini. Would you like to know how large it is? Too bad. We'll put in the FAQ maybe. This is just I don't like the shopping section at all. I mean, it's got everything. So don't get me wrong, and I guess if you just purely want to buy minis, it's good for that, but still, the dimensions, at the very least, would be better. It would be nice. Okay, starter box. So now we're back to the add-ons, if you want to get stuff, the things. Now now we get colored minis. Okay. Are you just showing me all the stuff that I already saw, but now in color? Because this is much more important than the shipping information. Talk amongst yourselves. We want to connect with you. Consider following the BAM team on any of our social below and stop by to say hi. We'll be posting info about the exciting local events, live streams, and more that we have planned during the campaign to celebrate launch day. Yeah, because we don't want to put any of that on the Kickstarter itself. We'd rather just put a mile and a half of plastic that you scroll through. Yeah, I love the long, sexy scrolling shot, and that did not look like a fun, long, sexy scrolling shot to me. Broken Anvil Shipping Hubs. Hey, backers, nominate your local retail store to be part of the Broken Anvil Shipping Hub network and get them in on the Rivenstone action. Stores that choose to participate will be listed as a shipping option for our backers in the Backer Kit Pledge Banner. Now, that is actually a fantastic idea that I was talking about a couple months ago, because I think I saw somebody else do something like that, and I would love to see this be more of a thing. I want to see some board game companies who'd be willing to do this as well, because that's really tantalizing. And especially when it comes to that, why shouldn't I wait to get a game until retail question? You know, that's just, oh, you're shipping. You can go to your friendly local gaming store, which gives you another excuse to go to your friendly local gaming store as well, which, you know, that's always nicest. For each backer that opts to ship, the retail, blah, blah. So that's cool. Nominate your store. Global shipping estimates. Here we go. For June 2023, the game has been thoroughly tested. Its components are ready to enter production as soon as the campaign closes. Estimated shipping prices listed below the reflected cost of 1 times the thing. So 1 times the faction starter box pledge. So this shipping section doesn't really help 83 people on the fence, or maybe it's just me. So they're here for the add-ons, presumably. Does it say I can get the add-ons? Take backers at this tier will receive access to the backer kit. Yep, that's what you wanted there. Iron Guard Merchant, so this is just the base. You got 20 people. Expedition Leader. The early Murder Bird gets the shards. Pick up everything you need to start battling the world event with a faction starter box of your choice. I still don't know the player count, the time link, the age, why I need which pledge level. 282, 484 for the 179. Yeah, sucks to be the rest of the world. It does on that shipping aspect there. Yeah, 15 to 25, that seems okay, I guess. I don't really have a... I guess it's a big box. I think it's a big box, right? There's just so little I know about this. It pisses me off because I want to know more about this. I still don't know the player length or the time count. You're going to get jacked by the VAT. Okay. Clear listed applies to the back rate. So you're not going to get jacked by your mailman. But VAT, you know, VAT is VAT. Refund policy, retails, okay. Currency, exchange rates, I get it. Backer kit, oh my god, it just won't stop! Okay, let's give the FAQ updates, comments. Give this one a grade. That is just so insanely long. FAQ? Surely no FAQ. We answered every single question possible. Except for what's the player count, the time, like the age. That's a full point grade drop right there. Updates. Stretch goal 4, unlocked, 2 comments, 0 comments, 2 comments, 4 comments, 2 comments. Oh god, 0 comments. How many updates have they done so far? April 26th. How many? God, it's like 8 updates in 2 days. No, thank you. Because here's the bottom line. People stop engaging. 0 comments, 2 comments, 4 comments, 2 comments, 0 comments. You're not getting engagement just by posting more of them. Make it at the very minimum, like daily, if you want to go crazy with the updates. But that's a lot. So let's see what the most engaging one was. I think they got to 4 once, which means probably 2 people commented on it. We've crushed the technical glitches. Come see. Thanks again for your patience and your support. Kickstarter off as a flyer. So this is 1 person, 2 per... Okay. Comments... I know different versions of the question have been asked, but if I pledge the $99 in the first 40 hours, can I upgrade to higher levels in Backer Kit? For adding to this FAQ would be a big help, yes. For people looking to connect with other backers, there's a Facebook group. Just search for Rivenstone fans. I really like the gender split in the Oryx model and the other factions. So these are the minis people. These are the hardcore minis people. Final grade for Rivenstone, a brand new tabletop miniature game, Skirmish. Do I want it? Not really. I don't know the player count. I don't know the time link. I don't know the age. I don't really have a good grasp of what the game is or what I'm going to be doing or why it's unique or why it's special. Without going through tons and tons and tons of text or a 2-hour-long video, I'm out on that. Can you do it? No, I don't feel particularly comfortable with that because you have no track record at all. And in fact, you haven't shipped out your first thing of minis first, and it would just make sense in my mind to get that win on your chest. And then how much is it? I don't have a good idea because I don't know enough about the game. So at the end of the day, I was really not a fan of this. I think if you want minis, you're kind of grandfathered into liking this. You're like, all right, I like minis. I like this. They look gorgeous. Yes. So for those people, I guess we're immediately not going to like an F territory, but I'm going to go with a D on this. I honestly was really disappointed with this Kickstarter. I still don't know anything about it. Get on Boardgamegeek, give me some info, but let me know in the comments below what's your final grade for Rivenstone, a brand new tabletop game miniatures. And as always, thanks for your time, YouTube. Bye-bye.